One of the things I wanted to ask you about was being a proud Indigenous man yourself. Um, the controversy around Spencer Leniu and Ezra Mam. And
Yes,
did you see Mundine's comments, Choc Mundine's comments there on
yes,
social media,
I
and the bit
did.
of
I
back and
did.
forth between Latrell?
I've got a thing. If it's not my business, it's not my business. So I think the biggest thing, and this is like, and everyone can tell me whatever they want. Uh, what people say about me isn't my business. How I respond is the awareness of myself. If we all worked on ourselves, we wouldn't even have those conversations because what happens is I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that, and now our whole lives are consumed by other people's lives. Oh, what's Hayden doing? I can't believe he's wearing that shirt. Look how he's done his hair. It's not my business how someone does their hair or the way they choose to live. It's my business if that person tries to influence me into that space. Now, if that space is elevation, Tony Robbins says, "Hey, did you with your business? If you thought about going this direction, you could actually live the life you want." Well, my ears are going to prick up. But if someone says, "Oh, did you hear about Hayden? Oh, he got a new tattoo. He thinks he's cool." That's not. It's just not my business, brother. Yeah, and I just like you know don't waste your time on other people's lives would be my advice. I think your tattoo is pretty cool. I know you got that yesterday, brother. Be nice and numb. Have a look at that, people. Beautiful,
Got to do a shout
great.
out
Whoever,
to Dante the Ripper.
yeah, absolutely.
Monarch
Beautiful
tattoo,
artwork.
isn't he?
But that's it. That's the thing. And you look at our TV in this day and age. Reality TV goes through the roof because one thing I know with a recent study, 400 times more connection through authenticity. Hence why you get a lot of these reality shows, people are just themselves. But at the same time, Choc or Latrell's or Ezra's or Spencer's comments just aren't my business. If I can influence a better um, choice or a pathway of understanding towards culture or why that might be offensive or so forth, then I'm going to do that. But it has to be my space too. So I'm not going to say I'm going to go across there and tell everybody how they should be living. If I'm the expert in the field of what I do, then I'll have that conversation. If they say, "Hey, Morgs, can you come to the clubs and talk about respect or whatever it is?" Beautiful. How do we build respect? What's that look like? What's your culture within that environment, etc., etc.? Do you understand Aboriginal culture? Do you understand Islander culture? How can we fuse that together so that we all sit in a space where we're happy? And the best way to do that is work on yourself rather than other people. Yeah, you're not going to you go out and work for my business, and I'm not going to work for your business. That is in the sense of I'm going to do all your business. Don't worry, Hayden, I got you. I'll do all your work. No one would do that. So we've got to work on ourselves. Now we don't have to, but if we work on ourselves, we're going to present in an environment in a space where just doesn't become a part of the conversation. The whole conversation on the field is just about football, and yeah, you might give them a nice little eye massage, something of that nature. But just having to say something that you know is going to cost you 8 weeks of your playing career that you love playing in, well, that's damaging for Spencer. And in the end, as much as he might have thought he was saying nothing or whatever was said back to him or started, it wasn't worth the 8 weeks that came from it. And I think that's where we as a society, if we just focus on ourselves, running the ball up and, someone's giving it to you, no doubt you can, it's just going to put you off your game. As soon as you give time to something of that nature, starting to sledge somebody or something, you 50-50 towards playing football and 50% sledging. Put 100% into playing football and see the difference.
Yeah, being a white fella, I was never going to comment on that, but I thought it was a good opportunity to pass it off to you, being a proud Indigenous man. So yeah,
Mm,
I won't comment on that. But I thought you made some really good points there about trying to tune into yourself rather than
100%.
being out and getting involved in that kind. And I guess for Spencer, he probably looks back on that now and thinks about all the opportunities thrown away now to make a really strong first impression with the Roosters. So I'm sure he's kicking himself, and yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of other people that have
Man,
to.
imagine the stress from it. Just
Yeah,
imagine that for him, whether it's financially playing every game, he's on match payments as an example, those sorts of things. Just being able to run out the average for the average amount of games for an NRL player is only 45. So technically, he took 8 of those away. He's got 37 left. Technically, I think he's played more than that already anyway. But in general, it just takes away 8 games that you could have played in your career, and it's to run out on that field in front of any fans is a great. Not many people get to do that, and he's lost 8 of those games. How much is that worth? Was it worth the opening our mouth around anything, whatever? It could have been racially, it could have been sexually, it could have been in any way, shape. Just get out and play the game and focus on that. It's like going up to the ref and saying that penalty was bullshit. He's like, yeah, cool. Extra 10 meters. Let's walk down here.
Yeah.
And you just cost your team. So it's the same thing, being able to regulate your emotions, control I want to punch the ref in my head many a times, or tackle the ref myself, give him a nice hip and shoulder. But I know that I'll be banned for life. So you've got to be able to control those emotions. And no matter what someone says to you, that's on them, and that's an insecurity from them. They need to work on themselves. I don't need to do that. Hey, you should be better. I'll let them be better. If I can help them and they want that help, I'll help them out. If they don't, I'll still help them out. I'll cheer for both, and I'll clap just as loud as I do for both that want the help and those that don't want the help, because in the end, it's your choice as to what you'll do. When I talk about being connected to yourself, knowing the direction of your life, having all those elements starting to build strength towards, look, the reality is when you have a realization, shit, I'm not built where I want to be built. That's cool. It's all right. Don't panic. We all start somewhere. I'm still learning. Hayden's still at his point. Someone else is. We're at different points. No comparison. How am I building a better self every single day? Relationship, financially, spiritually, culturally, emotionally, psychologically, etc., etc. And when we understand that, and that's a part of our diary. Going to the gym, podcasting, reading books, whatever it is on a personal self-development level, then we're in a better position of life. We're moving towards, and that becomes easier for ourselves. But in general, most people don't realize that conversation, and they sit within just this space here. I'm comfortable. It's easy, but what you're doing is you're damaging yourself, because even if I gave you $1 million, okay, I'll give you $1 million. Most people go out and spend it because they just don't know how to invest it. And then even in the sense, I'm going to buy a house. Yeah, great. And it will make you money over a period of time. But how much cash flow do you have on a weekly basis? I don't have any. And I've seen that happen. People buy luxury cars with a amount of money that they got as an inheritance, but then they're borrowing $5 for petrol a couple of months later, because there's no money coming in to actually fuel the Lamborghini or whatever car they end up buying. And it's crazy.